Well, it's Tuesday Wrestling, and you know what that means. So, we got AEW Dark and Impact Wrestling once again. So, we're going to review, talk, and discuss about on this episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome, everybody, to the Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling from AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I'm your host here right here. So, let's talk about AEW Dark. The length of the show is about over an hour and a half. Really nice timing. I mean, in the past, they have done, like recently, since the time of the pandemic, like 2 hours or maybe a little over 2 hours. But however, I think this pace with an hour and a half was great. So, let's talk about the first match. It's members of the Nightmare family. Now, however, this was not announced on this particular Dark episode due to the fact they record this on the day of Dynamite. It was announced that Nick Camarado has now officially joined the Nightmare family, and I have to say it was a great choice of them to pick him because he is a powerhouse, one amazing individual, not to mention when he stepped up the plate to face John Moxley, and once again he teamed up with the Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. So they're facing against Very Morales and Jersey Muscle Society. Now, I haven't seen Jersey Muscle Society for quite some time, but I can tell you right away who won. It's actually Camarado, Marshall, and Rhodes. So it was impressive finisher where Camarado had one of the Jersey Muscles on top, and of course, Dustin pulled off a bulldog, allowing him to pick up the win. So I don't know yet when it will be announced on Dark, but however, if you follow on Twitter, Camarado is now an official member of the Nightmare family. Next match, we got another person from the Nightmare family. Lee Johnson once again teaming with Aaron Solo. And as you guys may heard also as well, Aaron Solo is now officially with the Nightmare family. It wasn't even announced on Dark, but I'm sure that sooner or later it will be. They were set to face against SCU, Daniels, and Kazarian. As you know, this is like one of those matches. Once again, the stipulation between Kazarian and and Daniels. If they lose one match, they're done as a team. But however, the match was really good. I did enjoy it, and of course, once again, SU managed to maintain their status as a tag team, but for how long, we don't know. Only the universe will tell us that. Next match, we got James St. Patrick taking on Brian Cage. Um, as you know, this is one of those warm ups for Cage since we do know he and Ricky Starks are set the team to face against Darby Allin and Sting. This time, Hook didn't do anything. You know, he normally likes to get involved, but Brian Cage took care of Jake St. Patrick and he won the match. Next match is a women's match. We got Miranda Elise taking on Nyla Rose, who we all now know is involved in the AEW Women's Eliminator match. But um, there was some great moments where Miranda Elise tried to do some good spots, but wasn't enough when she got the beast bomb by Nyla and allowing to lose her match. But however, her match also gave the sign to Diamante and Ivelisse that she's no longer part of the Sicarias. Basically, They were planning to form like a female faction or so. I don't know. But yeah. Next match we got FVSK taking on the Bastard, Pac. I don't recall if he ever been on Dark, but I wasn't too much sold on this one. But however, Pac, you know who he is. He's good. Ooh, sorry about that. But he did put up the brutalizer on VSK, allowing him to win. So it's great to see that match. Then next up, we got Casey Navarro taking on Sonny Kiss along with Joey Janela. Always been impressed with Sonny Kiss's matches. Great athletic wrestler. And of course, Casey Navarro tried to get in the same plate as him, but not enough. Sonny Kiss won the match. Next match, we got Alex Gracia taking on Tay Conti, which was a very interesting match because Tay Conti is a great um, competitor. She has a martial arts status in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. You know for a fact she's going to apply that, and that's what she did in her match, and she won it in that way. Next match, we got Ryan Nemeth. If you guys know who he is the younger brother of Dolph Ziggler, or real name known as Nick Nemeth, taking on Marco Stunt. The match seems like it was going Marco Stunt's way, but however, as you know, him and the Jurassic Express are dealing with the whole fallout between them and FTR. As you know, FTR were do not appreciate the Jurassic Express, and they use their music to distract Marco, and Ryan Meneth pulled up an upset. But however, tomorrow on Wednesday, he will not pull up an upset against the Bastard. So we'll see what happens. Next match, we got Sean Dean teaming with Carly Bravo. Interesting fact about these guys is, you know, Sean Dean was in the Navy. So was Carly Bravo. He was in the Army. So basically, these guys have served. And I have to say, I would like to see these two guys together because I would like to have like a feel of a tag team that are who were in the service. It would bring in some good people in the fans who served in our military. It would be a great thing to have. Hope they do that because it would be great. They are set to take on Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi, who we have seen now that Cesar aligned himself with Peter Avalon, but however, the match ended in their way. But they will be facing Cody and Lee Johnson on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Next match, we got Baron Black versus 10. As you know, 10 has been very impressive these past couple weeks, especially when he made a name for himself in that main event match during the tribute to Brody. I can't wait to see him do more things. I would like to see him wrestle more in Dynamite, but he won his match. Next match, we got Diamante along with Evilise taking on Stir It Up, Red Velvet along with Big Swole. This was another match where we're starting to see Red Velvet. She's on fire. She is like stirring things up, getting ready to for her match, teaming with Cody to take on Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill. But it was a good match, I have to say. Red Velvet really is impressive. I can't wait to see what she's going to do more. In the main event, we got Jack Evans along with Angelico taking on Joey Janela. This was more of a warm-up match before Dynamite for his match against Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. It was a really good match. I did enjoy it. However, Jack Evans needs to learn how to shut up. He talks too much, wastes his time, but he got elbowed by Joey Janela and he won his match. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen tomorrow on Dynamite. So let's end it right here and let's move on with the last Impact show before No Surrender. Okay, so we got Impact Wrestling, the last show before we go to No Surrender this Saturday, which is going to be a killer matchup. So let's go with the first match. We got individuals who will be participating in some sort of a number one contendership for the X Division Championship. One team, we got Suicide, Willie Mack, Josh Alexander, and Trey Miguel taking on Blake Christian, Ace Austin, Davari, and Chris Bay. Now, in this match, there was certain parts where it makes interesting where Ace Austin doesn't believe that Blake Christian belongs there. He's trying to make a name for himself and all that type of thing. But however, I think the one person impressive in this match is Trey Miguel. Now, you have known Trey Miguel if you guys are fans of him. He is an amazing high flyer. And now he's adapting kind of like similar to what Matt Seidel has been doing, applying submissions or doing mat work. That is something new. And he did state it in an interview the reasons why he chose to stay in Impact Wrestling. Why was he didn't go along with the other members of the Rascals, who are now known as MSK. He said there was still some things he wants to do, that goals he wants to accomplish in Impact, and he felt that Impact would give him those opportunities, and maybe one day we will see the Rascals reunite, or just simply call MSK. We don't. Only time will tell when will that happen, but it'll be interesting to see. But however, it was Trey Miguel who put Blake Christians in a submission move, making him the winner. But however, he is starting getting into a feud with Sami Callihan, who has been getting into his head, saying all these things about his reasons being there, and it kind of how do I put this in words? Try to tell him that he should just quit, getting into his head. But we may don't. I don't think this will be applying in No Surrender for a feud. Maybe the following pay-per-view. I'm not sure, but it's a very interesting story how they're gonna go. Now, as you know, that this coming Saturday in No Surrender is also the birthday celebration of Tommy Dreamer, who turns 50. Basically, everybody in Impact congratulated him, all this and that. But we get to the next match between Kimberly along with Susan and Deonna Purrazzo taking on OBD, which is someone who they had to deal with a week ago in the match where Jordan Grace had to deal with Susan. But however, the match kind of went a different turn when, of course, Deonna and Susan got in the way, interfering. Did allow Kimberly to win her match by playing possum. But however, in the backstage, Deonna and Kimber seemed like they were happy to win. But however, Susan is playing this kind of manager role where she believes that something has to be done against Jazz and OBD, who she feels they shouldn't be in Impact Wrestling. You see, she views them that they should not be involved in Impact Wrestling. So she went to Scott D'Amore to set up a 6-woman tag team match. But however, Deonna and what's her name, Kimberly, should have known this was going to happen because they made a deal with Father James Mitchell to bring back Susie, but instead they ended up with Susan. So, Deonna, this is the price you pay for making a deal with the devil. And as you know, recently we've been seeing the Swingers Palace Casino. Mostly we've been seeing Fall Ball losing a lot of money, but I think it was rigged. That's how I see it. But of course, Fall Ball was escorted out and all this other stuff, so he had no money to bet upon. But yeah. Next thing we see is Cousin Jake. As you know, Cousin Jake has been conflicted ever since Deaner joined Violent by Design. In recent weeks, a couple weeks ago, we have witnessed they wanted to take him out, but however, Eric Young decided to spare him because he thought he, he deserves to be with his family. He was referring to himself, Joe, and Diener. Now, he wanted answers, so Jake decided to go by his other ring name that, if you guys don't know, he goes by Jake something. And they were about to whack him out, but however, Diener convinced Eric to allow him to face him in no surrender. That once he beats him, that the cure, that everything that they believed was all for nothing, that he refused to accept. That they were going to end his career and give him a way out. It's the same kind of thing that Eric Young did with Rich Swann, but however, we'll see what happens next. As you know, Rohit Raju has been obsessed to trying to reclaim what he felt was taken from him, which was the X Division Championship from TJP / Manic, and he brought a friend of his from the Desi Hit Squad days, Shira, believing that in their match he will reclaim what was taken to him and once again be an X Division champion twice. Now, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows made reference to Storm and Sabian, who they know these guys made a name in themselves in the tag team division. Of course, Storm, as we know him, he was part of the America's Most Wanted and the infamous Beer Money. Sabian, Motor City Machine Guns. So you know how that goes. Next match, we have Kara Hogan taking on Nevaeh, who, in the other hand, this kind of match was basically, there was a chance that we could see both teams face each other for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship in No Surrender. But however, it kind of ended in a way where Tasha Steelz kind of messed it up for Kara Hogan, where she got in the way. The referee saw what she did and called for the bell. But however, instead, they decided to go a different direction, saying they want the ref to be answering for what he did because of the refund of the festival that he promised them. But who said anything about the refund? He saw exactly what he saw. But however, the more decided that they have to put the titles on the line and no surrender, and the ref they have is not going to be involved. So basically, they screwed themselves by appearing at his office, and they don't like what they see. So it's a no DQ match. So, really funny. Now, recently we've been seeing Triple XL making a name for themselves ever since they first arrived, and now they're dealing with Decay. So basically, Tennille Dashwood agreed to join them due to the fact that Triple XL, who are told gentlemen that they refuse to touch a woman. So Tennille Dashwood decided to do it herself. But of course, Tennille had to run her mouth saying that no one is stupid enough to join Decay. And Caleb said that she wouldn't care who he has to face, either Rosemary or Steve. But however, it didn't go their way. They brought in someone who I did not expect, and that person is Black Taurus of AAA, the guy with the bullhorn, with the mask with the bull. And I have to say, him joining Decay is one of the best things because he fits perfectly with them. Caleb didn't have a chance to beat him. And I thought it was one of those matches where it tells, you guys said no one was stupid enough to join us, but you never said anything about who. They never said anything about who in Impact was going to join them. You got to remember, there are other places that can get people, and Taurus is the prime example of that. Now, as you know, recently it's been told in No Surrender that Brian Myers and Hernandez will face Eddie Edwards and Mark Cardona. Now, Brian Myers has tried to get himself the path Hernandez to face Eddie Edwards in No Surrender in a singles match, but however, it was ruined when Myers' old buddy Matt Cardona got involved, and now it turned out it was into a tag team match. So Brian Myers pay Hernandez for not for they need to take him out, but however, once again, Falaball had another bad idea. He saw the money, and if I were you, Falaball, please don't do it again. Now we get to the main event, which was the Impact World Tag Team Championship on the line. Sabin and Storm taking on the Good Brothers. The match seems like it was going great, but however, it didn't go exactly. We just saw the recent appearance of Matt Hardy and Private Party, and somehow Private Party got involved, disqualifying the Good Brothers and allowing for Sabin and Storm to win the match, but not win the tag team titles. Now, while in the back they seemed like they felt like they screwed them, D'Amore was informing them what they did was stupid. But however, I kind of suspected what D'Amore was planning. Apparently, now that in No Surrender for the Impact World Tag Team titles, we got a triple threat. We got Sabin and Storm versus Private Party versus the Good Brothers in a triple threat match. This is going to be a very interesting match, and Matt Hardy doesn't seem like he's happy with the results. So we'll see what happens in No Surrender. Now we get to the contract signing between Rich Swann and Tommy Dreamer. Now we all know why Rich Swann decided to give Tommy Dreamer a chance of the world title. Now he gave Moose an opportunity, but he didn't take it because Moose, who thinks he's all that he promised him the title, but he's in a rearview mirror. But D'Amore warned him not to get involved in their upcoming match. Now but Dreamer had this amazing speech saying that he loves this sport, he loves this business, and he's willing to give back to the younger generation. He looks at Moose that all he gives a damn about is money and all this other thing. So he signed the contract. Now Moose, we don't know when, but he still claiming that he is the real world champion. Now, in my opinion, I have a feeling that somewhere down the line, Don Callis is not going to take that lightly from a Moose portraying himself as the real world champion because he thinks the TNA is the real title. The Impact World title is just a second rate title. But however, the collector, Kenny, will take all titles. He probably will take that title away from Moose, given the chance, because he claims he's the best wrestler in the world. Kenny, on the other end, is the real best wrestler in the world because he's been around the world, especially Japan. So we will see what happens in No Surrender this coming Saturday. So I hope you guys are excited for that. So as right now, I'm going to end it here. We got more Japanese wrestling coming up. I got another Stardom event, Tokyo Oshi Pro Wrestling, and of course 2 events from Pro Wrestling Noah, Higher Ground. And then after that, I got the Wednesday Night War, where we got to review all of that too. So I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, DWZ channel. So I must bid all of you guys adieu. So goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang!